My name is Petruk, and this is how I came to know Jesus Christ. I grew up in a Christian family in Eagan, and I went to a Russian-speaking church for most of my life. And when I was 14, I was already well-educated in the doctrines of the Bible, and I knew a lot about the Bible, but I never came to know Jesus as my personal Savior or know God as my Father, and I didn't really have a relationship with Him. I prayed to God many times before, and I believed in Him, and I had prayed the sinner's prayer before, but it never really set in how I was actually lost in sin and what Jesus actually did for me. One day, it was during the summer, I was 14 years old, and I was sitting in my room, and just the weight of my sin and guilt was on me, and it was dragging me down. And I don't remember calling out to God, but I did feel that I couldn't conquer my own flesh and my impulsive, sinful desires. And in that moment, I knew I could not please God, and it was just a fact to me. I was overwhelmed with God's presence in my room, and I was brought to my knees, and I was just crying and repenting. And for the first time, I was pretty much face to face with a merciful God who wanted me to submit, and I did. He washed over me like an ocean that day, and I never felt anything like it before. I cried out to Him and denounced my evil deeds, and when I opened my eyes, I felt like a completely new person. I felt like I was living in the light, and all the weight of my sin that had been dragging me down earlier was just all gone, and I felt like flying. I began my walk with God in daily prayer and just going to church and weekly Bible study, and I could freshly apply all the doctrines that I had learned earlier in my life, but I could apply them on a much more personal level because now I had a relationship with God. Every day I'm sanctified by Him, and I'm a pure daughter of Christ, and I do fall short every day, but I know that the fruits of the Spirit that I bring through patience and through telling other people about my faith is not my own doing. It's the Spirit of God working through me. Thanks be to God that He has initiated and saved me, and that He has promised to complete my redemption and my future glory. And meanwhile, He provides everything I need because He didn't spare His own Son for a sinner like me.